Hey, and welcome back to another episode of You Love Comic Books. This is episode 72 of a YouTube show where I showcase my recent comic book hauls, comic book speculations, and stuff from my collection. So this week's episode is based on stuff that I got from Free Comic Book Day. There was a sale at at my LCS, local comic store, where I usually pick up all my new books. I've been finding a lot of great back issues there over the past couple months, but they had a sale, 50% off anything in like the bins, 25% off stuff from the wall, toys, they had sale on that. And I couldn't pass it up. And also, the store's pretty close to my house, and I was like, kind of just get there as early as I could on Saturday, got as many free comic books I could get. They let me have a little more. They said 5, but I did buy a bunch of stuff, so they let me have a couple more. And they also gave me a cool gift. I'll show you guys that in a second as well. Before I get into the hauls, though, if if you are watching this show and you never, you've seen a couple episodes, but you haven't hit subscribe yet, you know what? Smash that subscribe button. Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, getting really close. Also, if you like what you see, smash that like button. If you have any questions on anything you see in the episode, you know what? Leave a comment. That helps. It helps with the algorithm. Also, I'll get back to you accordingly. And let's just get into the haul. All right, just to start with some new books. This one, Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. I did not read this yet, but this was a hot book. This is like the hot book of the week. There's a bunch of first appearances in it. This is the B cover by the interior artist, Fico Osio. I don't want to butcher her name. This thing's been picking up. Happy to get it. I love this cover of Darth Vader, number 33. This is the A cover. I just love the solid contrast color. The callback to episode 1 with Padme, but that's Saab Day, I think. Yoda with this cool General Grievous cover. This issue has also picked up a bunch. There's a pretty cool new character in this, and they introduce another character at the end. This one's focusing on Luke's, basically how he gets his green lightsaber going. And it's probably, I would say, one of the better issues of Star Wars I've read in a while from this series. Also, the interior art was a major improvement over from the last couple issues. Not to say that art was bad. It was fine. But the art they have in the interior now, done by Musa Bikov, much better. And I picked up 2 because this is actually, again, like I said, it's a hot book. There's a bunch of characters introduced. I figured, why not? Darth Vader, black and white and red. Pick this one up. I don't know if I'll get the whole series. It's kind of cool. I mean, they're $5 a pop. I'll see. The interior art's cool. I like these books, but in the long run, like, they're not like anything that will be considered canon. I don't know. It's up to you. You get what you like, right? This is another. I figured, why not just pick this up? It was there on the shelf. It was cover price. I think I got my pull discount price on it, so that was good. Spider-Man 8. This is the second appearance of the Spider-Boy, the character that warmed everyone's heart in the comic community. People were charging like $40 to $50 for his first appearance. We'll see where this goes with this character. If you're not familiar, Spider-Boy was a new character introduced in Spider-Man number 7 by Dan Slott. The whole kind of gimmick of this character is that Spider-Boy is like Spider-Man's Robin, and supposedly he's always been there. So they're going to do like this interesting retcon, I guess. We'll see how permanent that is, though. Hulk 14. I did not read this. This is the last issue of this series. Honestly, I don't even care. I feel like this thing went out with a whimper. I don't know. When they said Donny Cates was going to take over the Hulk, people were all hyped. What he did with Venom and Thor. And I don't know what's going on with him, but he ended up, like, leaving the series after, like, issue 9. Book just kind of, I don't know, the whole concept was kind of stupid. It was, like, so... it's like you have a series, was it Immortal Hulk? And it had such this like profound, it was all horror, body horror, and it was like really dark, and it would go deep into like all different levels of like gamma rays and like the green door. It was like all kinds of things introduced. And then they have Donny Cates come in because that series ended and they started with a new series, Hulk, Donny Cates, and Otley, and they kind of just, just start the series like as if the last series didn't even happen. And I mean, maybe if the series was good, then I wouldn't care. But I don't know. There's something to be said about continuity. I don't know. There's a new Hulk series already being announced. We'll see where that goes. I don't know if I'll end up picking it up. Might need to take a break from Hulk. Oh well. Let's see. Batman. This is a sketch cover I picked up, $3.57. It's kind of interesting. This one was actually like the hot book one week on all the shows, and it's just a sketch cover. But I think it has to do with this old school Batman logo, which I think I could see that being really desirable for people at conventions. Now, I'm an artist. I'm going to draw on that. You could see my stuff at Rob Israel Art at Gmail. I can't even talk. Rob Israel Art on Instagram. You can see all my artwork there. And like I said, I do a lot of these covers. So we'll see what I do on that. I usually make all kind of monstered up stuff. All right, this was back issues now. This was from one store. Star Wars Purge #1. Got this for $2.99, which was the cover price. This came out like around the time after episode 3. And this is supposed to be like right after Anakin turns into Vader and they go after the remaining Jedis. This book you usually can pull like $20, and I was shocked to get this for $3. I actually had a reprint which came with the toy, and that one I bought years ago for like $10. I felt like a sucker, but I did sell that one for for 20. I don't know. So regardless, happy to get that one. I'm gonna keep that one in my collection, and happy to get it for only $2.99. This one was $1 issue. Got this one for $1. Superman Teen Titans Action Comics. It's $5.84. It's got some spine ticks, but I figured for $1, not too bad. It's a great cover. I love evil Superman, or mean Superman, drawn by John Byrne. Pretty cool. I guess this is where it says first all new issue. I'm assuming this is where Crisis happens, and they do the Man of Steel miniseries, and they did Superman and Action Comics, where they started everything over and changed Superman's past. I'm assuming this is the first issue back to the series. It's pretty crazy. I just never realized that John Byrne also drew Action Comics, as well as drew the Superman series at the time. So that guy was a freaking machine. All right, this one is pretty awesome. Amazing Spider-Man $2.90. It's a newsstand, and I was at the store. I've been wanting to get this one for a while. Not like a major key or anything like that. It's it's basically Peter asking Mary Jane to marry him, and it's funny. It's like $2.90 he asks, and I guess in $2.91 she says no, and then $2.92 he asks again, and then they get married in the annual. I don't remember what number it was, the annual. So it starts here. But what's awesome about this, I'm gonna show you guys something pretty cool. If I could get it out of the book, I don't want to get it out of the bag without ruining it. Hold on. Okay, so one thing you always want to look for when you see a newsstand copy, that there's a chance, not always, but there is a chance that it's a Mark Jewelers. So, pretty sweet. Get an Amazing Spider-Man comic with a Mark Jewelers. It's in really nice condition, too. This one was $4.99, and I'll say definitely a good price. I wonder if they knew... I wonder if the store knew that this was a Mark Jewelers, because I don't think so, because they had a couple of copies of this and they were charging $4.99 for those as well, like your standard edition and whatever. And I don't know, happy to have it. Always cool to find a Mark Jewelers. All right, this is pretty sweet. So I went to a garage sale, and it was weird in my neighbor, like not exactly in my neighborhood, but like it's like you cross the street and you go into like a different area, and whatever. This area does like a garage sale where the whole town or whatever, and there was like 70 houses, and I went to so many different houses, and the one thing I always do is like, hey, do you have comics, toys, or anything? Usually just want to look at the comics, and no one had anything. It's like a joke. No one, like, people looked at me like I had three heads. I mean, it was weak sauce really for like hunting, for stuff like that. No one had any video games. It's like all that stuff must have gotten gobbled up years ago. You know, you always hear these stories of people buying like a Nintendo 64 with a bunch of games for like, for like $20, And I think that's just done. Either people are holding on to it or they sold them off years ago or they sell them on eBay or whatever. They're smarter about it. But I did get a tiki bar there for like $30. So, you know, not exactly a comic book, but still pretty good get. Really good condition tiki bar. I know we're talking about comic book hauls, and I don't know if the tiki bar counts as a part of the haul, but you know, in a way it is. But I did go to one house, and it was weird. It was like an estate sale slash garage sale, and this lady had everything for sale in the garage. And I went up to her and I said, "Hey, this is a long shot, but do you have any comics?" And she's like, "Well, yes, I do." And I was like, "Ooh." Now, I was like, "Oh my God, what could it be? Old lady? Silver Age? Bronze Age?" It's some Robert Crumb books. Still not bad. This is pretty cool. Mr. Natural. This is the from the 70s, this version. It's 75 cents. These books are really hard to figure out what print they are. I was able to kind of figure out this might be the 7th print, because the first 6 prints have a 50 cents in the corner. There was a dollar sticker that flicked off, so there's like a permanent stain. Still pretty good condition, except for this little tiny bit of staining. The book's in like, I would say like a VF copy. Really happy to have that. Still early, mid 70s print. So pretty cool. And here's another Robert Crumb. This one's a #1, and it's a first print. Arcade, the Comics Review, #1 from 1975. So she wanted $3. I asked her how much, and she was like, "I don't know, I'm gonna put them up on eBay and sell them for a lot of money." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I don't know, $3 each." I was like, I went through all. I wasn't gonna haggle or anything like that. I went to so many places, and the fact that she had anything remote, like she had a bunch of other Robert Crumbs, but I figured I'd just pick up these two at least because they were both like #1s, and I'm familiar with Mr. Natural, and I am familiar with this cover and everything, so happy to have those. Pretty cool get. I don't usually have like the underground books like that. Most of my stuff's like this, so kind of cool to have. And then real quick, this was at a Target. This is a toy, so not exactly a comic, but it is comic related. This is pretty sick. So Ghost Rider, it's Marvel Legends, it's at Retro Figures, and they made one. I just love the packaging for this. Now again, it has that stupid where they don't have the window, so you can't see the figure. I'm debating opening it, but at the same time, I kind of want to just keep it sealed. It doesn't have, it hasn't been punched, so that's pretty cool. This one was on clearance. I mean, they were charging like $33 for this. I don't know. In this day and age, it's debatable. Like, is that too much? I paid half, so it was like 16 something, $17 or whatever. So happy to get it. Like I said, I just love this artwork. But, what do you think? You guys tell me in sound off. You think like 33 is like a fair price for this? Or do you think what I paid, 17, is really what they should have been charging to begin with? Or maybe I'm just old and I don't realize how expensive toys have gotten so expensive over the years. That's just a fact. Like, they used to not be like that. And then, one day, I remember, Marvel Legends in the early 2000s were, $8, and then they went up to, 10, and then 12. And then it settled at 20 for, a decade, and now they can go anywhere from, 22 to $30 easy, just on the regular figures, at your local retailers. And I'm not talking at secondary markets or even comic stores. It's pretty nuts. All right, let's get into the stuff. The reason why you guys are here, this is the Free Comic Books Day. Free Comic Book Day stuff. So, like I said, Batman Special Edition #1. This is the only one that had the stamp. I got this from All Seas. This was the Only one, which I didn't notice that until I got home, but I'm glad the other ones weren't stamped. Dawn of DC Night Terror is a pretty cool book. Always happy to get this. Spider-Man Venom. I guess every year they do a new Venom Spider-Man issue. It seems like they've been doing that for the past like 5 years now. Marvel Voices #1. Let's see, get some room on here. Couldn't pass this one up. Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. It's a fun book. Uncanny Avengers, Free Comic Book Day. Has a little crease on the back. Oh well. Street Fighter. Couldn't pass this one up either. And then this one I wanted to get, The Sacrificers. Has like a teeny tiny rip here by the staple. But, I mean, it was free. What are you going to do? And I always figured, you never know, these image books, you always want to try to get the Free Comic Book Day of some of these, because sometimes, I mean, any of these Free Comic Book Days things, you know, you feel like some people will try to, like, I remember like a year or two ago, Stray Dogs was like a big one. People were selling for like $20, something selling to children, whatever one. People were selling that for $20, and they were going for that. But I feel like some of these Free Comic Book Days, like, you just sit on them, and then like 20 years later, like, or 10 years later, like, you find out, like, what was it, the Umbrella Academy one? I had that, and I sold that one for like $65. Like, you know, it was just sitting in my box. I got it for, you know, Free Comic Day. Same thing with the One Punch Man, which also had the My Hero Academia. That one graded. People were selling that for like $300, 9.8. All right. This is books that I got for the sale. So let's get into that. This was from the Dollar Bin, Max 17. Now, the only reason why I bought this, I was going to pass on it because I already have this comic. I have Max up to like 33 or whatever. Kind of wish I got those last couple of issues. They tend to be rare, but the Max, the reason, it's a newsstand. And Image Comics, this is a later issue of the Max, so lower print run. And the fact that it's a newsstand is pretty freaking rare. And let me tell you, like, I don't remember ever seeing Image Comics in the newsstand. So I have a feeling that is a fact that, like, newsstand copies of any of the Image Comics tend to be harder to get than the Marvel or DC. Avengers 292 picked up. So these were all like $5 books, so they ended up being $2.50 each. This one is the comic that has that famous scene where Kang, you know what? I'll just show it to you guys. If you watch this and you'll be like, Rob, you already showed this. I mean, that was months ago. It was months ago. You know, this is like, you know, who knows? It could be a new viewer. I have to show it to them. So the reason why this book has the significance of this is if you watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, the scene, they literally made this scene in the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp with all the different Kangs. So, pretty awesome. All right. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Oh, actually, before I even get further into the haul, this is the other thing I got for free with the Free Comic Book Day. It was this Beetlejuice figure. Pretty awesome. I mean, they charged $20 for it, and they were giving out some figures, and they gave me one. And I was like, yay! I love it. It's the old, based on the cartoon, so pretty cool. All right, here we go. Then this one was $2.50. Avengers 260. It's the first cover of Nebula. Just watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I won't spoil it for you, but it was awesome. If you like the other Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you'll love that one. Avengers 232. I have a couple copies of this. I figured for $2.50, could not pass this up. I figure it was hot for a minute. This book was going for like $50 at one point when they first showed Harry Styles showing up in the Eternals. I feel like we will see Harry Styles as Star Fox again. So I figured, why not pick a couple of these up and we'll see what happens. Now, what the significance of this, now this character was around for years, but this is the first issue where he's Star Fox. He was not called Star Fox before, and he joins the Avengers. Just a cool old Avengers copy, 171. Love this cover with Scarlet Witch and the shattered glass with Ultron and all the other characters. So that was $2.50. Figured I'd grab another one of these. This one's a decent, like a mid-grade copy. Avengers 165. This is the first appearance of Henry Gyrick, who will show up in Marvel. He's like a I don't know, he's considered S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's kind of like a D-bag. So we'll see. He'll be like kind of like an antagonist or a villain. I wouldn't be shocked if he showed up in Thunderbolts. I think that would be the perfect movie to bring him in. Or knows, maybe he'll show up in Secret Invasion. Avengers 135, decent copy, not perfect, but I figured it's a minor key. It's got early Thanos in this, and just a cool cover. I figured for $2.50, couldn't pass it up. This one I couldn't pass up. This is like my second copy of this one, but this one again was only $2.50. This is Captain America 337. Just love this cover. And then this one for $2.50. Again, I could not pass this one up. This is the first where Helmut Zemo becomes the new Baron Zemo, which is the Zemo we know from the movies. This book was going for a bunch when Captain America and Winter Soldier. No, I'm sorry, Captain Falcon Winter Soldier series came out. I feel like it's probably on the low. I still got this for a really good price, so happy to have it. Been wanting to get this one for a while. I just never really wanted to pay $10 for it. They had it for $10. Every time I see this in stores, it's either like $10 or $15. It's not that it's a really good condition. It's a minor key. I think it has something to do with like the Nova Planet. I think the Nova Planet is in 205, but 204, there's something to do with that in there. And so this one was $5. Really happy to get that. This one was also only $5 instead of $10. This kind of picked up a bit with the whole, what do you call it, Creature Commandos. This character, I think his name's Dr. Phosphorus or whatever. It's a nice mid-grade copy. It's got a little crease here, but I'm happy to get this. This one I picked up. This is my second copy of this, but this is a really better condition. Only $2.50 for this one. The key significance of this book is it's the Master of the Universe preview. 16-page comic inside. So pretty cool to have. I think there's a Batman comic that has that. There might be one other comic that has that. All right. Almost done with the haul, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Before, check out my eBay and Instagram. You Love Comic Books. The links are in all the captions of my videos. Follow me on Instagram. See all my stuff on there. I have comics and stuff from the hauls. I'm always posting stuff from my collection on there. Sometimes I sell things, but not really. And then check out my eBay for toys, comics, trades, video games, etc. All right. Web of Spider-Man Annual 2. The key significance of this book. And I didn't realize, I thought he only did like a few pages in a story. But he actually did the whole entire comic, which is pretty sweet. Arthur Adams. It's a Spider-Man New Mutants story. I think there's a bad drawing of David Letterman, or a good drawing, depending on how you want to look at it. It's pretty cool. Just I would say this is probably around the time. This looks like early Arthur Adams, like he just finished Long Shot. And look, I think the key significance of this book is, though, it's his first time, even though it's not official, it's his first time drawing Godzilla. And Arthur Adams drew Godzilla for some Dark Horse series, I think, years ago. So pretty cool. And then on top of that, on top of having Arthur Adams do that, there's also a short story at the end with Mike Mignola drawing Spider-Man. Pretty cool. I would say the dark shadows and stuff like that. I would say this is not the Mike Mignola we know from Hellboy. Definitely more on the traditional side, but you could definitely see a little bit of those elements, especially like in this panel. So pretty cool. So you got two big name artists in this comic. So if you're ever, it doesn't go like even that. Look at that Kingpin. Like you could see like his like he really loves playing with like dark shadows to sculpt imagery. I would say like this book on average can go anywhere from like $5 to $8. Like I said, I paid $2.50 for this one. Happy to get it. Definitely, if you're a fan of Arthur Adams or Mike Mignola, perfect book to get. All right. I've been wanting to get this one for a long time, just never get it. I don't want to. It's like it's usually only like $5 or $8, but this time it was only $2.50. So I figured, why not add that to the collection? Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 56, and I don't know if this is like a key or not. If you want to get it, it's a sick cover with Jack-O-Lantern and Spider-Man. Again, it was only $2.50. Figured I'd pick up another one of these since it was only $2.50, and it's in really nice condition. It's the first appearance of Normie Osborn, the grandson of Norman Osborn, Harry's son, and I think he's considered now the Red Goblin. I don't know. And I think it's first appearance of this, who I thought as a kid was Dr. Octopus pretending to be Spider-Man. It's not. Picked up another one of these. I figured to get a newsstand copy of this. It's an awesome comic. Great cover. It's where Peter finds out that the Spider-Man suit, the black suit he brought home from the Secret Wars planet, is a alien parasite. So, great book. Also, it's the first appearance of the bombastic Spider-Man, or whatever, or Baghead. It's where because he didn't have a costume with him, because his costume was this, he left it at the Baxter building, and Johnny, as a joke, gives him an old Fantastic Four uniform and a bag to put over his head so no one sees it, keep Peter's secret identity. It's a newsstand. It's in really nice condition. It was only $5. Happy to get it. And then the last book, happy to get this one. This one was only $2.50. Just a really cool Spider-Man, Doctor Strange team up against Doctor Doom. So, yeah, I would say nothing like super insane in this haul, but lots of fun stuff. I love getting this free Beetlejuice. Love finding this awesome Ghost Rider. Finding this in a garage sale. It's pretty cool. Mr. Natural. Let's see if I can. So, yeah, if you like what you saw, why not, smash that like button. Leave a comment if you have any questions on what you saw. If you, are a fan of comic book hauls, comic book speculations, and stuff from people's collection, smash that subscribe button. Check out my Instagram. Check out my eBay. You know what? You're going to see a previous video here. You're going to see a previous video there. And you're going to smash that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.